when you run according to marriage and you get busy in running your marriage and running life, you busy working, they busy working. Sometimes we pass like 2 shifts in the night that we may not have time to say I love you the way we do, and you might not have feelings. Now the devil will come and tell you, you know what? You don't got no feelings. So that means you don't love her. Something wrong. Something going on. Sure.
There is not only the losing your feelings, it's like how the partner treating you. To keep your feelings, to keep your love towards him. It's both 2 parties have to share that love. And
Yes.
both 2 parties have to have that communication.
Yes,
that
both.
Both 2 parties have to know what they are doing. Not when one is trying and the other one is pulling.
That's right. It won't work. 2 cannot walk together unless they agree.
It cannot work. And the next thing break your feelings for a man is when he treating you bad. You're trying your best, you have your kids, you're doing everything, and he's not showing you that response.
Yeah.
He's not showing you that he cares.
That emotions.
Right. He's
That
not cares.
feeling.
So that drives you away and kill your feelings completely. Is that you just live in a home and you just care because you live with them, you care. That's all. There's nothing else going on.
That's it.
It's
You-
so important.
You got to
So
walk it
important.
according to knowledge.
Yeah. And I could tell any young people, you marry when you love one another. I marry, I didn't love. I married picking. My mom just in the marriage, right? I never had that holding days. I never had picking up phone and call. I never had going to the corner and reach him.
Yeah.
You know? And I can tell you, love is a thing that's built. But then when after you build your love for someone, and times go in, and then sudden they make a change, and they're pulling over one side, and you still there. Like Alice in Wonderland, what's going on? You know?
Yeah.
You want to know what's going on? And now you have kids. Now the kids is on you, because he don't care. What's going on?
See?
It's all the burden is on you. And, I mean, things like that happen to both parties. Sometimes it can happen to a man the same way. I'm not saying, you know, only women facing it. Men
No,
facing
both
it
parties
too.
face
You know? It go vice versa. But, you know, as you said, knowledge, understanding, you know, communication. I mean, both you have to have the understanding.
Exactly.
In life.
And you have to work it
Yeah, I
together.
lived with my husband 38 years yesterday. And I was Thursday, I think Thursday.
Thursday.
38 years. But I could always say, I live with him because of my children. I get children. I don't want the next man to come and take care of my kids. Because some men want you, but they don't want your kids. Right?
Sure.
They treat them bad. And then kids is a thing. And next thing I could say that when you see you marry and you have your kids and you going and look outside, kids is a thing, and look at what you do, and that drive them crazy, that send them out of the way. But if you keep holding on and you keep because of your kids and you grow them and you try to talk to them, don't look at your father, look at me. And you grow them that way, you will have wonderful children.
Amen. Amen.
I can tell anybody, you look at your children. Once you bring children in this world, you look at them. Because don't think because you have your kids, you will run and go and find another man because your father is not good. You know, you gotta look at your children.
Yeah.
You got children sensitive. They look at parents, what they do. I make
True.
4. This is the second bag. 4, 3 sons and 1 daughter. On marriage, I could. I have a long testament. Amen.
Well, I can see you got to take. I can see you got to take. You got to take.
But you know, I keep holding on there. I could tell any young people.
Well,
I was
that's what
thinking about
testimony
this
is
thing
for.
yesterday. I say, you know, I could talk in a marriage family about marriage.
You can.
Because I hold on there because of my children. now my kids get big. Now I said I can have their freedom in my life. But still, you know, I'm trying to work things out, but the other one don't want to work it out with you. What are you going to do?
Yeah, you got to work it with knowledge. See, the thing about it, you have knowledge. He said, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. You may want to work something, but the other person don't want to work something. One thing I learned is this, that God will never force somebody to do something. They got to want to do it.
2 years now I become Christian. I never used to read the Bible before. I always used to have a little testament, you know, the New Testament, and the New Testament. I used to have it sometimes. The only thing I know from it is the 23rd Psalm.
Wow.
And once I become Christian, I started to read the Bible. Then I really know what God said about marriage, right? Then I really know two people supposed to love one another as Christ loved the church.
Yes.
You know? And if you put God into your marriage, it works.
That's it.
Yeah?
That's the
And
key.
I have my marriage ring, and after I become Christian, like the ring was biting my finger. I can't wear it.
Wow.
I can't wear it. And one day I was praying, and the Lord spoke to me, and He said, renew your vow. Because He wants to work in my life. I told my husband, I said, you know what, let's renew our vow. He said, no way, I'm not going to. Well, he don't know if I'm going to renew my vow, I'm going to bring him in a Christian church. And he don't want to come, right?
Yeah.
He don't want to come. So I showed him the ring. I said, you could have your ring, because I can't wear it. You don't want to renew the vow, you can have your ring.
Wow.
He said, why? He said, can't you pass the glass? It does have the glass, the glass is without a man.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, he gave me my heart, so, but God is great, and He will soften him one day.
Amen.
Yes,
That's
yes.
right. Amen.
Through you doing what you're doing,
Amen.
through your faith and through your belief, God will do it. Now you guys here, 38 years of marriage, and understanding that God is the king and the key. And even with the raising of your children, you have to do it according to knowledge. You have to do it together. It takes two people to tug a boat and to make it work. That's why I would say that if you put things into your marriage, right, it's going to work. Like you guys coming here today, when your marriage hits some, it could be a knowledge that you get here today. I always tell married people here that when you're going through certain things, that's why we do these classes. Like somebody can go through what you're going through and they come in here and they hear it. And what you need to overcome your situation is the knowledge that you're not alone. That in marriage, we all gonna hit that thing, that you're not gonna have that feeling and emotion that you used to. But knowing that when, you know, it's better when you're working together that you can overcome it. You can know that this is just feelings. You know, I look at what a mentor is. A mentor is somebody that can give you a tour of where you've been. It lets you know that, okay, when you hit that spot in 5 years, this is boom. This is going to happen. Don't go crazy. You're going to survive it. Do you remember when Paul was in the boat and the storm came? And Paul said there was an angel that stood by me this night. And he said to me, nobody is going to be lost in this ship. Well, when you're going through the storm, you need God to send an angel to say to you, you're going through the storm. I'm not taking away the storm, but I'm going to make you live through it. You ain't going to die through the storm. Marriage is a journey. It's a long journey, a very long journey. And I always say to it, your marriage, it will be as good as you work it. If you don't work it, it's going to take the same intensity or even more as the years go by to make it work, to make sure you pay attention to it. You got to pay attention to your mate. Like you said, you got to keep on treating them right.
That's right.
Don't feel like I've been with you for 50 years. I don't care how you feel no more. Shut up. You don't stop doing those things. You keep treating them. Matter of fact, the more time a wine spent is the more value. You know? And the more precious is that thing because it shows it's got resiliency, it got time, it got everything. I learned to trust you now because you've been with me for so long. And that's my honey bunch, that's my baby, that's my sweetheart. And now it should be so much more. Because you understand now it's not about having the errors. You know? And I look at it, the thing that's going to help us in our marriage is not the errors. Errors go away sometimes. And you got to work on it. But what's going to keep us together is the agape. God kind of love. When things happen, the agape forgives, not errors. When you have affairs and somebody come into the marriage, you know what's going to forgive? Not errors. Agape. The agape love will say, I understand. Because God died for me. I was no good. And He did something for me in my life. So I can forgive you for your trespasses. I can forgive you for your wrong. So agape love is the love that's going to keep us together. That's going to walk with us. So that's why we have to have a knowledge of that agape love. That knowledge that forgives. That knowledge say, regardless of what happened, let's quickly forgive. Don't let, you see the Bible said, don't let, be angry and sin not. As human beings, we may get angry with each other, but don't let the night come before we deal with it. Before we go to bed, let's talk about it. Before we go to bed, let's talk. Every marriage needs to walk in that knowledge. Before midnight, before I lay down, we can't go to sleep until we work it out. We can't go to bed. And the thing is, you have to, see the Bible said that you got to run your marriage according to knowledge. You know what knowledge is? It's word. You got to find out when you can agree, find what God said and agree on that.
That's right, amen.
If you don't get along how to raise your children, find what God says on that knowledge and you work on that. A lot of times we have Christian people trying to run our marriage according to what Oprah says or somebody else says.
That's right.
Don't wrong with these people, what they say. That's not knowledge. That's men. But we need to walk our marriage according to what God says. And I know you care about your marriage because you're here. I know you care about your marriage because I want to know what God says about my marriage and which way He wants me to do and what way He wants me to do it. You got to run your marriage according to the knowledge of God. Because these days, even in Christendom, people get divorced, like Hollywood. I no longer have feelings for you. I think I like Susan down the block. She made me feel good. You can't go by your feelings, how you feel today, and how you feel tomorrow, and how you feel this. Feelings change. But you got to walk your marriage according to knowledge. And you got to tell your woman, regardless of what happened, baby, we working together. Not one thing you said was that two people got to work together.
Yeah, because sometimes one try and the other one don't want.
The other one don't want.
Yeah.
Guess what? Ain't gonna work.
No work. No.
Ain't gonna work. It got to have two people that's working for the same goal. Two people that's walking for the same thing of the marriage. Two people getting together to get knowledge. I can't get knowledge and you don't get none. Then we're still in the same situation.
Yeah.
We're still in a bad place. If I'm there taking classes, you need to be there taking classes. You need to hear it too, so you can get it. So we can know which way to go. Yes.
Sometimes when you want, I don't know, but no one, but I know about myself, I will tell you. Like you going to a church, and like you like your husband to be next to you. You know, it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah. It's all right, man. It's all right. It's all right.
Like you just get this type of feelings that you need your companion to be next to you. Everything you want to do.
It's
And
okay.
he's not there to do.
I understand. And I try to tell these young married people, young men, the same thing. Be with your wife. Because you ain't with your wife, somebody else gonna be around.
That's right.
Because the devil coming to church.
I tell my children, I said, I married so long with your father, but my life is not right, but you guys make your life right. It's not good to live your life in fighting and nothing, like you're trying your best and like nothing don't please him. Or he never tried to please you,
Wow.
It's not right. Come on. You cannot live your life like that all the time. Sometimes you just like to go and live by yourself. Because you live by yourself and don't be next to them.
Yes.
There was an example, I think that we heard, I forgot, the bishop told it to us, about this woman of God. She served God, and her husband didn't come to church. And every day, remember that's why every day she used to cook for him, clean for him, and then one day he locked her out of the house.
Or Smith Wigglesworth.
Yeah, locked her out of the house, and she's with, one thing she did, she stayed on the porch, and she waited for him to open up the door. She didn't bang on the door, she didn't do
On
that.
a cold day.
On a cold day, she waited for him to open the door, and when she opened the door, she went right back in the house and she
And
started
cooked for him.
dinner. She made dinner for him, and then that clicked in his head like, wait a minute, I did this to you, and you still acting like that. And then when he started
He
coming.
said, I'm coming to church.
I'm coming to church. Where you go to church at? I'm coming. So, woman of God, keep on. Just keep on pressing. Just keep on doing. And watch God. Watch God. It's not impossible. Watch God.
Well, it's only 2 years now I'm serving the Lord, so
That's all right. That's all right.
I know you're in the country one day.
Amen.
God can do all things.
Yes. Amen.
Yes, Anne.
Then I
Just
just,
remind me something now. My husband, and the person God coach for coming to Jesus, right? My husband always say when I go to church, oh, what you going? Why you going to sky? Why you going to that church? What is the church doing? I remember that. And I said, one time go to send to the Lord. And I put my name every morning at 3 o'clock and I said, God, I know you go to do something for you. I know you go to do something for you. And he said, you crazy, what you doing? Every time I tell about God, he said, okay, the God pay off, let's give me money. Then you do it. I said, don't worry. When you say about money, you're going to be in the church. And let me tell you something, that's what you say, when you continue to do it, God will do it. And look at me, you have a sign, you have that.
when she was telling me, I said, listen, your wife is going to church, going to a good place, going to reach out to God. I never give up on God. I grew up from small, and you know how my father was. And I never give up on God. I said, and you follow your wife. Go. When he can't call and tell me, Mommy, I'm going to baptize, I said, go, baptize.
Amen.
I said, we grew up in the Hindu religion.
Yeah.
I married in the Hindu rites to my husband. So they grew up in the Hindu thing, so they don't really know about the Christian religion.
Of course.
So now when I always used to carry them to Catholic church back home. I never been baptized or so, but I like to pray to Jesus. I don't know why. And I used to go to the Catholic church. I used to pay them to the Catholic church small Good Friday and pray and so. And I tell him, I said, we was Hindu and still I used to carry you guys to Catholic church. I said, now you get big. You don't have to stick to something.
Right.
It's not giving you nothing.
Right.
Go
Right.
to something who gonna give you something. I said,
Amen.
Jesus is real.
Amen.
I said, since I become Christian more, Jesus saved my life. And like I feel comfortable praying to Jesus and worship him.
Amen.
I don't feel comfortable in the Hindu religion. I try to tell my son, I said, go for it. Don't give up. Follow your wife. Amen. It's there. I tell him.
Nothing is possible.
No.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
And I got a big one there, he's Hindu. And I telling him, I said, you need to go to Jesus. He said, no, don't worry with that. You just should. And I said, God gonna touch you one day. I'm your mother, I gonna pray for you. God gonna touch you.
Wow. I believe that.
And he
God
come in,
will do it.
yeah, he come in the country, run like 2 year and a half now. And bring his son, I carry son to church. So his wife is in Guyana. His wife trying to tell his son not to go to Christian church. So I trying to tell my son, I said, why your mother stopping from going to church? I said, church is not a bad place. I said, in the time how it goes now, you need your son to go to church, to go in the right way. Because you see all them bad things happening out there, you need God to protect you.
That's right, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tell you, if I never used to pray,